Hi y'all, welcome back. Uh, Never mind that buzzing noise in the background. Somebody decided that she was going to do the weed eating just as soon as I said, I'm going to do a video today. So hopefully you can hear my voice over that. I'll of course check it before I post it to make sure. And we got our favorite little granddaughter is out here visiting with me today. Only this time we locked her up because she will get into everything under the sun if you let her go. And I don't know how many times I've had to chase her away from my paint or my palette knives or something. So, and you may have noticed a couple of my videos where the camera shook, probably where she ran by and bumped the tripod. Anyhow, so I'm going to do painting today. This one is, I'm going to do some trees. It's almost like a forest glade, forest glen type thing. And I'd seen a couple of tutorials because I still watch the tutorials online so I can get ideas and I can practice and perfect what I'm trying to do. So I saw a couple of tutorials, thought they looked really cool. I'm going to try them here today. We'll see what happens. So right along with me as I try to do some trees. I love you too, Nene. Alright, now as you can see, I've already got some color laid down, but that's because the way it is today is pretty humid and it is taking forever for paint to dry. And I don't want to wait forever, so I already did some of the pre-setup so that it was ready to go by the time I got on camera. Now, we're going to do, like I said, sort of like a glen, a forest glade with some trees around. But to do that, I also want to add in on this background a little bit of green. We let that dry for a minute. Already took the camera off, or the lid off. And then we add in just a little bit of lighter green there. Alright, that's all for that. And then over this, we're going to add some black. And it looks like some of my paint wasn't quite dry, but that's okay. We're going to be digging into it here in a minute anyway. And of course, I probably should have went the other way and put the black down before I put the green down. And should have shaken the green more because now it's just spitting everything. Of course, I try a new technique and of course things want to mess with me, so. Alright, whatever. We will do this, we will get her done. So, palette knife, and what you do, I found out, is you start and you actually use, I'm going to use this part of it, and you put it down flat, straight, at the very top of your tree, and then you drag it down, and as you're going down, you turn your palette knife slightly. And as you're turning your palette knife, you're bringing more of that trunk out, until you get down here, where you've got a bigger part of the trunk showing. Of course, make sure you clean your palette knife so you get all that gunk off it because you don't want blobs sticking out later. Now, you got your tree here, and then still using your palette knife and using that short edge, drawing a few roots down here. Yes, dear one, go to sleep, lay down. She's a little tired. She's been up for a while. Of course, like most kids, especially 2 years old, don't really like to take naps. Alright, and then we want a couple of branches here. And these are down toward the bottom, so these are going to be a little bit thicker. I see that my paint, in this case, is already drying, so give her a couple shots of clear coat. Soften that paint up. Alright, and then off these branches, also I guess there's this thing about every branch usually Y's off, so if you're going to do a branch here, Y it off. Branch here, Y it off. Branch here, Y it off. Bug there, slap it. The gnats are out today. Yep, take your blankie and lay down. Although with it as warm out as it is, I don't think you really need it, but she likes to sleep with her blankie. Alright, let that soften up a little bit. And then we'll do one more right here. Fly off. And now, as Amethyst Vasquez, and if you want to see a good artist, she's got a really good channel. As she likes to say, nature is random, so you don't have to have everything perfect. Alright, so there's my first tree started. I'm going to put one more tree over here. So, put down some clear coat, wait for it to hit. And then again, the shorter edge of your knife. Now, you don't have to just use that knife. I do because I like the knife. But you can use other knives to do it. You just got to be careful because now you don't have quite as much control because you got to do it this way instead of up here where you can grab it this way. So I use this one because I like it. Alright, so here's our next tree. I think I'm going to put that one over here a little bit. So there's that all the way down. Pull down. Don't use a whole lot of pressure and start to turn it as you're going down to make it a little bit bigger. And then down to the bottom. Alright. A little more clear coat right there at the bottom. My aim's not that great. Alright, we'll let that set for just a second. Alright, now we come in, we bring those branches, the roots out. Alright, roots, and then we'll lightly put in some tree branches. If the bugs will leave me alone. And remember, the heavier you push, the more paint you're going to bring up. So if you don't want to bring up a whole lot of paint, don't push heavy. If you want a lot of paint, then push light, or push heavy. Yeah. Now, if you haven't noticed, she hollers a lot. And that's because, as with most children of that age, her two favorite words are mine and no, and she also wants to have all the attention. So she will yell and holler and whisper and cajole until you pay attention to her and respond. If you don't respond, ooh, buddy, she will holler and scream and do whatever it takes to get your attention. Even when Mama is on the other side of the yard doing the weed eating while I'm trying to do a video. Yep, Grandma's not here. Grandma's up there. So you just have to wait for Mama. Okay? Wait for Mama to get done. Wait for Mama to get done? Yeah? Yeah? How'd you get that? Okay, I'm sorry. She had some of those little white flowers that grow in the yard, and I have no clue where she got it. Because all the flowers are on the outside of her little playpen that we've got her in. Yet, she got one from somewhere, and I don't see any major holes in her playpen like she, ripped a hole in the side of it to grab it. Kid's a blasted magician. We're going to put you out there against David Copperfield. All right, so there's my 2 trees. Now, the next part, once we have this in, we let it dry a little bit more again. And I'm going to add in foliage next. And I'm also going to put in a few plants and roots and stuff. Now, to do that, we're going to have to start doing some mixing of paint. Now, this is something I hadn't tried before until today. So come along with me as I do this. So what we're going to do is I took a napkin, in this case just the store-bought $1.98 kind. The guy I learned this from, Ash Schultz Art, suggests that you actually use, well, he uses Bounty napkins. I don't know if I want to spend that much quite yet until I actually can start making a little money off this. So I got the generic ones. And had to gently break it to my wife that I stole a few sheets of her paper towels to make these out of. So don't tell her. What? No. Nope, you're not getting out. Yeah, Grandma's coming back. Alright, so to do the colors, I'm going to do blue as the undercoat. That'll be like the shadowing. I'm going to do yellow in the middle for the main part. And the blue and yellow mixed together will make a green color. And then I'm going to use white as a highlight at the top. So there you go. Some blue, some yellow, and some white on just a piece of extra cardboard that I had. Take our little brush. Now you can either dab this way and try to get like white, yellow, and blue and then do it, or you can do it this way, and I like this way, so we do a little blue on the bottom, and that's going to be a good portion of the brush. Little yellow in the middle, and that'll mix together to make the green, and then you want just a thin line of white on top for the highlight. And once you've got this dry, you just go along and you dab in your greenery, your foliage. Now, of course, if you're doing trees and you're doing, trees like this, most of the brush is going to be, the shrubbery is going to be on the branches. So you're not going to have it right in the middle of the tree. And the idea is to have a little of the light right toward the top, bringing, making those colors pop, and then the other two in the middle and the bottom just to add depth to it to make it look like three-dimensional. You run out a little paint on your card, go through and add a little more. Dun, dun, da, 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 da. sure about that, kiddo? It's awesome having conversations with her. You can't understand more than 1 in 5 words or so, but boy, she is so serious when she tells you whatever it was she said. Oh yeah, she's also at this stage where if she's in her pen, in her little plaything, she wants to throw everything out. If she's outside of her plaything, she wants to throw everything back in. And then she whines because all of her toys are in the playpen or out of the playpen, and she can't reach them. So, oh, it's very, very tiresome raising grandkids, especially when you got one 2 years old. All right, now there's the trees. Just finish filling it out just a little bit, give it a little bit of a, well, a little girth. Fill it out some. There's that. And you see the branches, just in spots you'll see them sticking out a little bit. Of course, like I said, you look outside and you look at any tree, usually the leaves do not cover all the branches and all the trunk and stuff. There's spots where you can see right through the branches to see the trunk. So that's what we want. We want something that looks true to life. We don't want something that looks so fake that you spot it in a minute and a half. All right, so there's my trees with the branches. Now, we're gonna add some ground brush. And we can use the exact same technique we just used. You put a little blue, a little yellow, and a little white down for highlight and depth. Or we can do a little different. And what we'll do is I'm going to actually switch up the colors. So instead of blue and yellow, this time I'm going to go with red. In this case, apple red. I'm going to go with a little spring green, which is a lighter green. Oh, no wonder it did that. I guess maybe I will actually go with an even lighter green. I'm going to go with a jungle green. Why not? We'll do a jungle scene. And then I will use the white for the top highlight. And you can mix and match and play and just try different colors and see what they look like. So I'm going to try this one and see what it looks like. So we get the red on the bottom, the green in the middle, the white on top for highlight. Now you should usually go the top down because you want the really light stuff on top, and the closer it is to up where the light comes through, the more highlight should be up there. So, and then you can just go through and grab just a lot of white and not a whole lot of the rest of it. And of course, just like with the trees, you want a little black to show through there because you don't have just one solid color. And that'll add a little bit of a dimension to it, a little depth. And we'll bring some around the back of the tree there. Some to cover up my thumbprint. A little more decent highlight up there. This just a touch down here. Now, once you got that in too, you can also do this. My brush is falling apart. So I'm going to take, oh, back is killing me. Going to take a little bit of the black. Then I'm going to take the last brush I made for this. I'm going to turn it sideways, dip a little bit in the black, and then just watch my brush fall apart is what I'm doing. Alright, I guess let's try this. I'll actually use my palette knife. Nope, it's not working either. Okay, one more shot. Alright, the trees I seem to have down pretty good. The color mixing, I think I got halfway decent. Adding in the black for other stuff, still have to work on. However, I'm stopping right there. The wife said that one's pretty, so I'm not going to do any more to it. Except for turn it around so you can see it this way. And there is a little mountain glade, mountain glen, little ethereal hollow, whatever you want to call it. And then of course, we have to do our last two things. And I'll do these actually on this. One, coat the corner. Now I'm going to actually come over here on this side like this. Ow. Bugs. Initial. And then seal in the goodness. We clear coat the whole thing. Yeah, and then we try to pick it up with a putty knife, which doesn't work very well. But we have fun. Even when the youngin's over there screaming and hollering because she's not being paid attention to. You don't pay attention, she goes after you. So there you go. Probably would have been a little better if I would have used more of the green and maybe darkened it up a little bit and put a little darker green in there. But I like the purplish reddish color, and actually those would be good for cherry blossoms. So the trees that have like the whitish and red when it changes. There you go. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you liked it. I hope that you enjoyed the daughter in the background, granddaughter in the background saying Papaw and Mamaw. Wow. Okay, that's one of my longer videos, so I do hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you in the next one.